Ha That was like one of the funniest things I've ever done. It's Wednesday, it's 9 p.m. I am Dr. Connie Stapleton, and I would like to invite you to join me in Food Addiction Fair and Firm. Imagine that. I'm stuck to this chair for real. Hi again, Susan Ann. Oh my goodness. Hi, y'all. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so now on this live, I'm being Dr. Connie Stapleton. Although, I don't need that doctor thing when people are talking to me. I'm Connie, but I am doing this as a bariatric professional, right? An addiction professional. Because a lot of people are struggling with self-sabotage. So tonight, we're going to do lots of talking about self-sabotage. Now, I'm going to encourage you all to hopefully use the protection plan that we've been creating the last several weeks. If you haven't created your protection plan, then go onto my website at ConnieStapletonPhD.com and print yourself off a copy of the sheet to create yourself a protection plan. Because a protection plan is a really, really, really important thing to have if we're going to be working on not self-sabotaging, right? So I'm going to need your help as we do this tonight. I'm looking for my little notes because I like to keep some notes, right, on self-sabotage. So what I want you to do is just type in the notes what you think self-sabotage means. Thanks for the idea, Terry. This was a good topic. Let's talk about ways that we self-sabotage. What are some ways, hi Roxy, what are some ways that you guys self-sabotage in terms of, since we're talking about food addiction, right? In terms of not following your food plan or not following your healthy eating or not maintaining your abstinence from whatever foods you feel are important for you to abstain from. What are some ways that you self-sabotage? And then we're going to talk about reasons people self-sabotage. All right, I can't find the little notes. That's all right, I know this material. I don't need a dang note, right? Okay. So some ways you self-sabotage. Eat food you should not be eating. Absolutely. Now, you need to determine that, right? What you should and should not be eating, right? But if it's stuff that's going to lead you to bring stuff will trigger you into the house, good. Eat foods we shouldn't be eating, just having a taste. Self-sabotage, powerful and destructive. So true. Bunny, anger, absolutely. We self-sabotage with these things. Buying crud I don't have any business eating, right? Miscalculate portion size. Well, that's an easy fix if you want to fix it, right? Not planning menus, right? Do great for 3 days, then give in. Hard to get past that. Well, I hope you're giving yourself credit for those 3 days because that's really super duper important. Wanting attention. Buy junk food and bring it home. It's in the house. I eat it. That's right. Okay, eating bad and saying it's okay wasn't too bad, but you keep doing it. Good job, you guys. Stress leads to sabotage. You know what? I think that is one of the main things, right? That does lead to leads to sabotage because we don't want to feel it, right? So if I have stress, I'm going to think about this for a minute. All right? Oh, hang on. I got to move. Okay. I know I'm supposed to have something that doesn't move. Yvonne has shared that with me, and I know, but I don't. So there you go. Start doing really good on a scale or compliment self-sabotage kicks in, right? Oh my God. That's a good one, Kimberly, and we're going to talk about that, right? Because maybe you don't think you deserve it, or maybe, Okay, so self-sabotage, why we do it, what it looks like, and what you're going to do about it. Because we're not going to leave this thing without some ideas about what to do about it, right? So here's some ideas about reasons, and all these things that you've shared with me are really, really good examples of self-sabotage. And Shannon just shared another one. Even the act of saying, you know what, I'll get back on track tomorrow, but then doing it all over again, right? Bringing food home, giving in to stress. All these things are examples of self-sabotage. Can you think of any underlying reasons for behaving in that way? Because what we just described are the behaviors, right? And as you all know, if you've heard anything I've said over the last year or so, is thoughts lead to feelings and behavior. So what kind of thoughts, conscious or subconscious, come before these self-sabotaging behaviors? In other words, why are we doing that? Why do we self-sabotage? Lack of self-love. Ding, 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 ding. Top answer to this girl. Lack of self-love. Absolutely. Lack of self-love. Hi, Nadia. What else? What other thoughts underlie the feelings and behaviors of self-sabotage? Why might we do not feeling worthy? Absolutely. Feeling lonely. Okay, lonely is a feeling. What's the thought that came before it? Aha, see, we're going to get real picky here tonight because we're going to learn some stuff here. Thoughts lead to feelings. Thoughts and feelings lead to behavior. We've identified the self-sabotaging behavior. What are the thoughts underneath it that might lead you to feel lonely? We've identified some really, really good ones. Not feeling worthy, not loving myself. I'm going to give you some ideas and tell me what you think. How many of you, I don't have confidence in myself, failed so many times? Very good. I don't trust myself. I'm not sure I can. Right? That would be the thought. I don't know that I can do it. Anybody suffer from fear of success? Cheryl just described fear of failure. I don't deserve attention. Excellent. Great thought that leads to icky feelings, that leads to self-sabotaging behavior. Excellent. Always think everything's my fault. My thoughts. What if I have a bad time? Anxiety. How will I get through it? Better by just this little bit. Thank you for that honesty. Literally had somebody tell me today, they knew they were about to engage in a difficult thing, and they bought a particular food because they didn't know if they could get through the difficult thing without it. Self-sabotage, right? All right. So does anybody think I'm afraid to succeed? Does anybody have fear of success? And how might fear of success lead to self-sabotage? What kind of sense does that make? How could fear of success lead to self-sabotage? Not used to getting attention, so as soon as people start commenting about how well I am doing, self-sabotage fits in. Oh, what if I can't live up to the expectation? Absolutely. Okay, great thoughts, everybody. Okay, so if I succeed, whatever that means, right? And in this case, we're talking about losing weight maybe and keeping it off. All right. Oh my God. What might be the expectations of you if you live at a healthy weight? What might you expect of you? What might other people expect of you that absolutely, terrifies the bejesus out of you? Well, my God, maybe I'll have to go to work. Maybe your weight has caused you to be, not be able to have very much mobility. If I lose weight and I can get around, maybe I'll have to go to work. I don't believe in myself enough to get a decent job. Oh my God, they're going to expect me to do this. I don't know if I can. I don't believe in myself. Right? So there's some of that, right? I don't want to leave my comfort zone. Fear of success. So I'm never going to try. Yvonne says, I have fear of success, so I'm not going to try. Because if I try, I might fail. Or God forbid, I might succeed, which is worse. I don't know. There's a lot of stress that comes either way. If I fail, then I'm going to be beating myself up on the head again, and other people are going to say, see, I knew you couldn't do it, right? What about, do I deserve to enjoy my success? That's a great one. I'm afraid my stuff won't sell. Okay, let's talk about that in the context of self-esteem, self-worth, self-love, okay? Now, I put a lot of stuff out there, right? I put a lot of programs out there. I put a lot of writing out there. I put a lot of stuff out in the world. And some people hate it. Some people like it, right? But if that were my concern, that would be a sign that I'm too afraid to get the feedback. I'm too afraid. No. You know what I've learned over the years? Because there was a time, and this has been gradual. Age has helped, and learning about recovery and being a healthier adult and learning to love myself has kept me from self-sabotaging success or failure, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because what I think is a success and what other people think of a success might be different things. Now, I also have to keep perfectionism in check, but it's like getting on the scale, right? If a scale determines my worth for the day, that means I have no internal self-worth, right? If a scale can say you're a bad person, you don't deserve to live, why bother, blah, blah, blah. That scale doesn't tell me anything about the person I am. We've discussed this a million times. So if I create something and I put it out there and nobody likes it, it's like, does that make me a failure? No, it means I need to try a different angle. If people love it, does that mean I'm wonderful and all that in a bag of, I was going to say a bag of chips. That's a bad food reference. Does that make me all that? Remember, people with low internal self-esteem who fear success and who fear failure oftentimes go back on this thing that I call the shit or the shit, right? People are afraid of not being good enough. Fear of disappointment. Fear of having to maintain a certain level of behavior of performance. If I do succeed, right? Those expectations. Oh my God, now you're going to expect me to keep this weight off. Oh no. I finally met approval to my father because I'm a certain weight and now I got to keep it off. Oh my God, or he's going to call me a failure again. All that, right? But here's the deal. If I can say, I am me, I have good things and I have not good things. The people who love me because of both, in spite of my faults. They love me for the things that are my good character traits. And a successful book or not a successful book does not determine my worth. I'm not either the shit, like, oh, I'm the bomb, right? Woo! I'm on top of the world. Ain't nobody going to stop me now. I'm not either the shit or the shit. I'm a piece of shit. You know, why bother? You're right. And that's what happens when we have low self-esteem. We either get this false sense of, woo, ooh, they like me, they like me, they like me. Ooh, now I feel good about me. Because that's real shallow and short lasting, right? And if they don't like me, it doesn't mean I'm a piece of crap. So if I'm like, that didn't work, let me try something else. I don't let that kind of thing determine how I feel about myself. Now I might go, that's a little embarrassing. That didn't go over well, right? But I'm not going to ruin my life over it. I'm going to pick myself up and move on. For example, stay humble. Very good, right? When I write something or post an article or look at these these videos, I don't look to see how many people said, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Or who do you think you are? I don't look for that because that's not why I do this. If you've got something to create and put out there, if you've got an idea, if you've got kindness to share, if you knit potholders and give them to, the Breast Cancer Society, whatever you do, Don't look back and see who said, oh my God, I loved this. If you write something, don't look back and see how many people read it. What I do out of the goodness of my heart because I think it's an important thing to do. I'm not going to judge myself based on how many people read my article. I'm not going to judge myself based on whether people liked it or not. Now, if somebody comes to me and says, you know what, Connie, 10 people commented about your potty mouth. You know, that seems to be an issue to a lot of people. Then I have to take an honest look at that feedback and not say, oh, I'm a horrible person. But I have to go, you know what, if that many people are finding this offensive, it's something I might want to change. But that doesn't mean it's about me as a human being, right? So the fear of success and the fear of failure really kind of boiled down to, I believe, lack of self-worth, lack of not loving yourself well, believing in yourself. All right, so let's talk about other indicators of self-sabotage, not thinking you're worth it. Now, where do we get the idea? Where do we get the idea that we're not worth something, that we're not good enough? Right? It's shame, right? Shame says I'm not good enough. Where do we get that idea? Where do we get that? Are we born with that? Right? Are we born with that? Thank you, Kimberly. No, we are not born with that. We are born with, I'm pretty darn awesome, right? We are born with, wow, I have a place in this world and I'm good enough. We get it from others, Missy, that's right. And we usually get it, that's right, it's children. And it's usually through messages we're giving, verbally or non-verbally, from behaviors toward us from other people, verbal or non-verbal, attitudes toward us, if we're left alone all the time, if we bring papers home and we want to share our work and nobody pays attention, if people came to our softball games or if people came to our school performances or whatever it was. If we're not treated by the significant people in our lives like we're worth something, we're going to grow up thinking we're not worth anything. And then we're going to play that out over and over and over again. So what I'm going to say right now is really freaking harsh. And it's not going to sound like I mean it, but what I want to say is get over it. And that doesn't mean you can let it go. It doesn't mean you can't. It means do what you got to do to get past that. So you don't have an excuse not to do what you need to do. Right? The majority of people I know have experienced some kind of crap. I had a client today. It was beautiful. I loved it. Referred to this happened and that happened. It's our collection of crap. We all have a collection of crap. So when I say get over it, I don't mean just forget about it like it never happened. What I mean is say I have a collection of crap and it's in my way as a healthy adult and I'm sick of this collection. I'm going to work through it. I'm going to take out this piece of crap and I'm going to examine it and say, you know what? That's ridiculous. This was not my issue. It was yours. Take it back. Now I'm going to take out this piece of crap from my collection of crap. And I'm going to say, you know what? You told me I'd never amount to anything. Why would an adult say that to a child? What was the matter with you? It wasn't something was the matter with me, an innocent, wonderful little child. It was you. Take your crap and go. I'm going to go through my collection of crap and I'm going to get rid of the shit. So that I can say when the collection's all gone through, like, those people fed me a line of BS. I was amazing. I was a little child. I was great and wonderful. And you know what? What if they had told me something else? What if they had told me, God, you're amazing. You're an amazing little person and I love to be in your world. And you are just awesome to be around. And you know what? This family's lucky to have you in it. And you are just kind and clever and creative and funny and smart and all these great things, right? You might be a little different. Now, we don't want to go one extreme to the other, right? Kids can't be told they're all wonderful and not have to learn manners. And they can't be told they're all the best thing in the world and not have to learn humility. But I'm talking, middle of the road here, right? It's not really picking yourself up by the bootstraps, Kelly, but it's being willing to pick it up, right? And not wallow in it, not go. I'm telling you what, this is a little bit of my personal and professional frustration coming out, but I'm reading a lot about it's hard. And I don't have much patience for it's hard because it's hard. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to sit and wallow in it's hard? Or are you going to say, can somebody help me? It's hard and I'm not sure what to do about it. And if you've been on this for a year, you better have some damn ideas about what to do with it by now, right? And if you don't, go back onto YouTube and watch these videos again. Go to all these other support groups that are online. You are given tools every single day. Are you freaking using them? Because here's the bottom line. Nobody did it for me. Nobody did the work for me. I did the work. I had to have people show me the way. I had to have people take me by the hand. I had to have people love me through it. I had to have people believe in me until I was willing to believe in myself. I had to have people tell me you're lovable until I started to realize I was lovable. I had to people say that's in your, you know what you're talking about right now? It's in your collection of crap. What are you going to do about it? But they couldn't do anything about it for me. None of the people online, none of the people at Bariatric Center, none of the people in a weight loss program, no therapist, no parent, no teacher can do this for you. You have tools. Either freaking use them or don't. Quit bitching about it, right? You've got tools. You can use these tools. How hard are you willing to work? Because you've got the tools. Works if you work it, right, Marta? It works if you work it. So, some days I'm just more firm than fair. And it is fair. It is fair to say you're an adult. You can do a little more than you think you can. And when you start believing that, you'll stop self-sabotaging, because one of the reasons we self-sabotage is to have an excuse, right? To have an excuse. We self-sabotage so we can say it's hard. We self-sabotage to say, I don't think I can. We self-sabotage to say, why bother? Right? Now I came across some really good things online. And here's some questions that you might want to ask yourself. And all you got to do, people, is look up online, do a Google search, self-sabotage and weight gain, or self-sabotage and weight loss, and you too can find these articles. And they have these great questions, right? So here's one of the great questions. Can you think of 5 reasons that you believe your life would be worse off if you met your goal? These are reasons we self-sabotage. If you can list 5 ways that I think my life would be worse off if I lived at a healthy weight for my body. What would be 5? Yeah, they did this to me, right? Blame, blame, blame. We're not playing the blame game. 5 reasons that your life would be worse off if you reached your goal. I'd have to put it in more effort. I might have to, do something on a consistent basis. I might have to follow through with these gotta-do-ems. I might have to stick with the program, right? So what about, what was another one? What about 5 reasons you believe your life would be better once you met your goal? Let's say in this case, yes, self-education, important. You are good at it too. What are 5 ways your life would be better? Wow, I'd feel better. I'd have more energy. My health would be vastly improved. I could do things that I say I've always wanted to do. Now, which outweigh them? The 5 ways my life would be better, or the 5 ways my life would be worse? If you look at the 5 ways your life would be worse living at a healthy weight, I can almost guarantee you it's about fear and low self-esteem. So as I say, forever and ever and ever, the bottom line of this whole thing, the bottom line of self-sabotage is not loving yourself. So with addiction, we have shame. We don't think we're good enough. We don't believe we're good enough. We don't believe we can. All that crap. How long are you going to recycle this? How long are you going to sing that song? Jeez, doesn't it get old? What are you going to do? That's why I always say, don't tell me you're trying. I don't care about trying. What I care about is doing. Because doing gets results. You're scared? Then get some support. You're not confident? Then take a baby step. Quit setting huge goals. Set a goal that says, tomorrow I'm going to get up and put clean clothes on. You can do that, right? Little tiny goals. Make it so that you are successful. So you don't have to beat yourself up over the head and say, see, why bother? Because I'm telling you guys, this is just a cycle of self-perpetuating crap. You're taking your collection of your crap and you're juggling it. You're juggling it and recycling it and respinning it and coming up with the same crap. You're just holding the crater of crap. You're carrying around that collection with you because you're afraid to let it go. Because if you let it go, you got to change. And I get it. I get it. It's hard. It's hard to make the right decisions. It's hard to keep it up day after day after day after day. That's why we don't do it alone. That's why we have support. That's why we take healthy risks. That's why we learn healthy behaviors. We learn healthy communication. We learn healthy self-love. We behave in healthy self-love ways. We learn how to set boundaries. We learn to say no. You do it or you don't, right? Ooh, Lordy. She was on a roll tonight, wasn't she? On a rampage. But you know what? I have a friend who works in Statesboro, Georgia, which isn't all that far from where I work. And she's pretty darn fair and firm too, right? And she says, if you don't want to, if you don't believe me, go to Augusta. I'll show you somebody who's really firm and is really firm. My therapist that I worked with for many, many years was firm. You know what, Connie? That doesn't fly with me. You know what, Connie? That's just a big fat excuse. You know what, Connie? You're being real self-centered right now. But I always knew she loved me. And I always knew she did it out of love. She never did it cruelly or disrespectfully, but always like, I know you can do better. What are you going to do with it? Right? So firm, fair, and consistent. I love that, Kelly. That's beautiful. All right, guys. That was the fastest half hour of my day. I guarantee you that. Boofty, boofty. So, I had a busy day. I've had a great day in some ways, most ways, right? I feel super grateful and super happy tonight. And I'm grateful in part because you guys are here. And if you weren't here, well, no, I can't say that. What I will say is because you're here, I know that you're doing some work. I know that you're working to better yourselves. I know that you're working to move forward. So be firm and fair and loving with yourself. And by God, let's start working on really learning how to love ourselves. Now, in July, I'm starting Gain While You Lose again. And it's going to be done just like this. I'm going to be sitting in this chair. I'm going to be presenting online. You will get homework. This whole Gain While You Lose is about learning to love yourself. Learning to get rid of the collection of crap. Learning to love yourself so you treat yourself well and stop self-sabotaging so that you can live at a healthy weight. So I'm just saying, you know what? You can do a whole lot of work in those short 10 weeks. So if you want more information about it, go to my website. I'm typing this in here. You get some information on it. I'll gain while you lose. And call Kelsey to sign up or get more information at 706. All right, my friends. I love this class. And here's the deal. Yeah, you got to pay for it. Yay, go Chris Kennedy. Yeah, you got to pay for it because I do a ton of stuff free. And I love doing the free stuff because I know there are people who genuinely cannot afford a lot of services. And this is a way that I give back, and it's a way I maintain my program of recovery. But I also got to make a living. And I also put a buttload of time into creating these programs. So, but the good news for you is once you take this class, you can take it 10 more times and never pay another dime. That's fair. All right, guys. Take care. I will see you. Thank you, Nancy. Here's the deal. You'll change your life. Hi, Laura. I'm so glad to see you. And you'll be proud of me, Laura, because I just said, take my class and you got to pay for it. But it's worth it. Because you're worth it. And I don't do the work in there for you. You do the work in there for you. But you do it. All right, guys. I will talk to you soon. You're so welcome. I love you guys. And other people did for me what the little part that I do for you. But remember, I don't do anything. You either do it or you don't. So I never, ever, ever, ever get the credit. I thank you for letting me be a part of your life. And I will rejoice with you as you make the changes for you. Your health, your life, your responsibility this day and every day. We'll talk soon. Good night, everybody.